Okay, so today we are going to be graphing some basic square root functions. So here I have the first one is f of x equals the square root of x plus 6. So the steps that we're going to follow to graph this are going to be to make an xy table or an x and f of x table. We'll plot those points over here and connect them with a curve, and then we'll talk about how to define the domain and the range of that function. So the first thing you want to do is you want to find this critical starting point in your xy table. So to find that, the step that we're going to do is we're going to take anything that's under the radical symbol, under the square root, and we're going to set that equal to 0. So in this problem, it'll just be the x, because that's the only part of the equation that's under the square root. So x equals 0. So that equation's already solved. We don't have to do anything to solve it. So that is the x value that we're going to put as our starting value in our table. And then from there, we're just going to count up from 0 to fill in the rest of our x values. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, one at a time, I'm going to take these x values, I'm going to plug them in for x up here in my equation and find the corresponding y value. So for the first one, if I have the square root of 0 plus 6, order of operations is really important on these problems. So we have to remember that we have to evaluate the radical and then add the 6 because the 6 is outside. So in this problem, the square root of 0 is 0 plus 6. So then that'll give me 6 as my y value. For the next part, we're going to plug in the 1. So the square root of 1 plus 6. Square root of 1 is 1, plus 6 more is 7. Now we're going to start to get some decimals in our chart as we plug in these next two values. So when I plug in 2, and then I'm going to add 6. So the square root of 2 is approximately 1.41. If you go to your calculator and type that in, you're going to get 1.4. So if we round that off to the 10th spot and then add 6 to it, that means that we're going to get 1.4 plus 6 more, so 7.4. If we plug in 3 and we take the square root of 3 in our calculator, we're going to get approximately 1.7. And we're going to add 6 to that, so we'll get 7.7. And lastly, if we plug in 4, square root of 4 is 2. So 2 plus 6 is 8. So now we're going to take these 5 points that we've just calculated. We're going to come over here and we're going to graph them on our coordinate plane. So 0, 6 is right here on the y-axis. 1, 7 is way up here. And then now we're going to do these two decimal values. And the decimals, just to get as accurate as you can. So if I have 2, 7.4, it's a little less than half. But again, just get as close as you can. 3, 7.7. Again, I'm not quite on that 8, but I'm as close as I can get to 7.7. And then when I get over to my x value of 4, I can go all the way up to the line on the 8. So something that looks like that. So this is a new type of graph. So this is actually half of a parabola. It's half of a U shape. So we're going to be very specific when we graph this. We are only going to put an arrow on the one end out here, the direction that it's traveling. This is just a point, because the reason that this point here that we found at the beginning is so important is that any smaller x value, anything that might be over here on our chart, is actually outside of our domain. You can't have any part of this graph over here. So if I were to try and plug in negative numbers for x and take their square root, I would get my calculator to say undefined or domain error. So that leads us to talking about the domain and the range. So remember that the domain always talks about your x values. What possible x values can you have for your function? And then your range is then your corresponding y values. Okay? So if we're looking at this graph, we can get this information from our XY table. So if we look here, our x's started at 0 and went up. So we can say that our domain is where x has to be greater than or equal to 0. You always use greater than or equal to with the starting value here in your table, and that'll give you your domain. On the graph, you can see that on our x-axis, we only have our graph going to the right of the 0. Okay, and then on our range, we're looking at our y values. So again, we can use this first y value in our table. We can use this first y value in our table, and we can say, okay, where do my y's go from here? Well, they go to 7, 7, 4, 7, 7, and then 8. So my y's are also increasing, or they go greater than or equal to this starting value, 6. And we can see in our table, or in our graph, when we go up to the 6, that's my lowest point. All my y values are above that point. So that's how you determine your domain and your range. You can see it in your graph here, and you can also see it over here in your table, looking at that critical starting point that we found at the beginning. So I want to do one more example where this time we're going to put the +6 underneath the radical instead of having it outside, and see how that changes our graph. So our process is going to stay the same. We're going to start by doing x + 6 and setting it equal to 0. Remember, anything under the radical, set it equal to 0, and that gives you your starting x value. Well, in this problem, we actually need to solve that to get x by itself. So our starting x value in this example is -6. But again, we're going to count up from -6. So we're going to go -5, -4, -3, and -2, counting up towards 0. So if we plug each of those numbers in to our equation, we're going to have -6 + 6 under our radical for the first one. Now, because that +6 is under the radical this time, we actually get to add before we take the square root. So -6 + 6 is 0. So this first part is asking us what the square root of 0 is. Just 0. So if I plug in -5, -5 + 6 is 1. And then take the square root, which is 1. -4 + 6 is 2. And again, I'm going to go to that calculator. I'm going to ask my calculator what the square root of 2 is, and then I'm going to round it off correctly to 1.4. -3 + 6 is 3. And the correct rounding for that is 1.7. And lastly, -2 + 6 is 4, and the square root of that is the whole number 2. So let's plot those 5 points. So this time my x value is -6, 0, and then my y is 0, so -6, 0 is back here. -5, 1. Again, on the decimals, just be as close as you can. So we got -4, 1.4. -3, we got 1.7, and -2, we had 2. As close as you can. So remember, this is your starting value, that first one. So our arrow is going to go towards the other points that we drew. So now let's take a look at our domain and range. So our x values, looking at our table, we can see start at -6. So x has got to be greater than or equal to -6. And if we're looking left to right on our graph, we can see that nothing goes backwards from -6. So everything is greater than that. And then our range is our y values. So again, looking at this critical point here, that first y value is 0. So we know that our y's relate to 0, and if I look, they go up from 0. So that would be a greater than or equal to 0 statement. And if I want to verify that, I can look at my graph and say, hey, this is my smallest y value. Nothing goes underneath that point on my graph. So that's 0, or the x-axis where y is 0, and all my values go up from there. So it's a quick rundown on how to graph your basic square root functions. There are a couple other things that we did with it where we had a number times outside the radical or inside the radical, and just make sure that you use order of operations to evaluate those. And you should get generally a shape that looks like that. It's half of a U shape.